All right, YouTube, I want to show you what I did here and pass on a tip. So my AC system has been on the fritz. It's a 96 Ford truck, and so I replaced everything. I put in a new evaporator, a new dryer, a new high pressure line coming into the dryer, or I'm sorry, into the evaporator. Coming over here, I put in a new compressor. Here's the line that comes out, and here it is. Comes out from the compressor and connects over here. So what I did originally is I hooked up, bought this manifold brand new. I put these on. I tightened them down nice and tight with a pair of pliers. That's hint number one. Don't do that. I hooked up to the low side and I hooked up to the high side. I hooked up to my compressor, or my vacuum, I should say, and then I pulled vacuum. I pulled vacuum for a few minutes. It was holding steady, and I was getting a good 30 inches, and it held for an hour. I hooked up my refrigerant to the yellow line here, and when I cracked the system, cracked it open, it there was no refrigerant coming through this sight glass. The compressor wasn't kicking on after it had supposedly pressurized a little bit. I had nothing. So I took it all apart. I was pretty frustrated. And then I thought, well, wait a minute. What about these O-rings down in here? So I took apart at the quick disconnect here. I took the quick disconnect off of the hose of the low and the high side. I turned the vacuum on, put my thumb over the end of the hose, no suction. So what had happened was, as you can guess, these O-rings in the high and low have been squished down too tight. It had blocked off the ability to pull vacuum from here. So when I was reading here and holding vacuum at 30 and all happy about that, the fact is I was holding vacuum in the manifold, nothing past the line, certainly nothing in the system. So the system was not vacuumed. There was no vacuum inside of the system. Hence, my refrigerant would not go through the yellow line because there's nothing pulling it through. So I put these just on finger tight. I put my finger back over the end of the hose, and sure enough, I had suction. So now I've pulled suction on the truck. I've let it sit for a few minutes. It is still holding steady. I'm going to let it sit for about half an hour to make sure I don't have any minute leaks, and then I'm going to recharge. So hope that helps. Make sure you have suction in the system, in the truck, and you're not just pulling vacuum from the line or the manifold. Hope that helps somebody. Sure helped me.